On a bright afternoon, the sun filtered through the lush leaves of an ancient oak tree, casting playful shadows on the ground. Leo, a spirited 12-year-old, sprawled on the soft ears, his fingers sifting through a mosaic of vibrant leaves and warm sand. The world around him was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling branches, and he felt a profound sense of peace, as if the tree itself was cradling him in its embrace. He spent hours crafting miniature forts from twigs and leaves, his imagination running wild. Each pile of sand transformed into mountains, and every rustle in the grass hinted at hidden creatures. Leo was lost in his own world, a realm where adventure awaited at every turn. But as the sun began to dip lower in the sky, a sudden, distant sound broke the tranquility, a low, rumbling boom that echoed through the forest. Leo's heart raced. It wasn't thunder, it was something else, something powerful. His curiosity ignited. He felt an irresistible pull to investigate. He stood up, brushing the sand from his hands, a mix of excitement and trepidation coursing through him. The forest, usually a place of comfort, now felt daunting. Shadows stretched longer, and the rustling leaves seemed to whisper secrets he couldn't quite grasp. Taking a deep breath, he set off towards the sound, his heart pounding in rhythm with his footsteps. The path was familiar, winding through clusters of ferns and underbrush, but today it felt different. Each snap of a twig beneath his feet echoed in his ears, and the vibrant greens of the forest seemed to darken as he ventured deeper. As he walked, his imagination began to weave tales of what could have caused the explosion. Perhaps it was a hidden treasure buried beneath the roots of an ancient tree, or a secret meeting of forest spirits. But with each step, the thrill of adventure was tempered by a creeping fear. What if he stumbled upon something dangerous? What if the forest was hiding more than just its usual wonders? After a few minutes that felt like an eternity, Leo reached a clearing. The trees parted, revealing a scent that took his breath away. In the center stood a small area of freshly disturbed ears, created like depressions surrounded by scattered branches and uprooted plants. The air was thick with the scent of freshly turned soil, and the remnants of the explosion were evident in the disarray. But it wasn't what he had imagined. There were no fiery remnants or scenes of destruction, just the aftermath of something more mundane. As he stepped closer, a flicker of movement caught his eye. There in the center of the disturbance was a small device, metallic and oddly shaped, half buried in the dirt. Leo's pulse quickened. Was this the source of the explosion? He reached out, drawn by an inexplicable urge to touch it. Just as his fingers grazed the cold metal, a sudden flash erupted, blinding him momentarily. Leo stumbled back, his heart racing. The flash faded as quickly as it had come, leaving behind a strange hum in the air. He blinked, trying to regain his composure, and looked around. To his relief, nothing had changed in the clearing. It was still just a patch of disturbed ears, but the realization hit him hard. This wasn't an explosion at all. It was a tool his father had been using for tree planting, a device destined to help nurture the forest rather than destroy it. As he stood there, the weight of his earlier fears began to lift. The forest was not a place of danger. It was a living, breathing entity that thrived on care and attention. He heard was the sound of life, the pulse of nature continuing on. Undeterred by his moment of panic, Leo knelt down, brushing the dirt away from the device. It was a simple tool, yet it held the power to create life in this very forest. He remembered his father's words about the importance of planting trees, about how they provided shelter, clean air, and a home for countless creatures. This was not a moment of fear, but a moment of connection, a reminder that curiosity could lead to understanding. With a newfound sense of purpose, Leo carefully placed the device back in its resting place, covering gently with soil and leaves. He felt a surge of gratitude for the forest, for the lessons it had taught him that day. As he turned to head back home, the shadows no longer felt threatening. Instead, they danced playfully around him, welcoming him back to the familiar embrace of the oak tree. In that moment, Leo understood that curiosity could lead to unexpected discoveries, and that sometimes what seemed frightening at first could reveal a deeper truth. The forest was alive, filled with stories waiting to be uncovered, and he was just beginning to explore its wonders. As he walked home, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow.